maritime industry in recent times, especially with the establishment of the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, has gone through various advancements in ensuring that the Nigerian maritime industry keeps up with global trends, especially in the areas of manpower and logistics. Recently, Zoe Maritime Resources Limited organized the Maritime Business Roundtable Breakfast Meeting Mbrbm 2025 at the prestigious Oriental Hotel in Victoria Island, Lagos, to discuss issues on maritime logistics and the sustainability of the ocean economy, with a case study of the operations of some key maritime-centered organizations cutting across the federal, state, and private sectors. Executives making up the panel session includes the Nigerian Content Development Monitoring Board (NCDMB), the Lagos State Waterways Authority (LASWA), and a private freight forwarding organization.
As General Manager of LASWA, he has overseen the completion of key ferry terminals, the upgrade of over 20 jetties, and integrated the UN's SDGs into the agency's operations, leading the strategic development and management of water transportation across Lagos State. Notable achievements include establishing the first waterways monitoring and data management center in West Africa, and introducing the Cowrie Cup payment system for seamless transport integration on the Lagos waterways. A visionary leader, Mr. Emmanuel is passionate about leveraging innovative solutions to connect communities, foster economic growth, and ensure environmental sustainability. Engineer Felix Omashola Ogbe, FNC, was appointed as the Executive Secretary of the NCDMB on December 7th, 2023 by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In this role, he is saddled with the responsibility of overseeing the entire operations and management of the organization. He will have oversight over Nigerian content performance in the Nigerian oil and gas industry. He will drive the 10-year strategic roadmap, which the NCDMB instituted in 2017 with a target of 70% Nigerian content retention at the end of 2027. Ruth Chukwukezirian is a distinguished leader in the logistics and supply chain industry, known for her expertise, innovation, and unwavering commitment to excellence service delivery. With a career spanning over 20 years in customs brokerage, shipping, freight forwarding, and logistics support services across various sectors, she has made significant contributions in driving efficiency in customs brokerage and logistics management. As the CEO of Global Energy and Logistics, a subsidiary of DOT Global Group, where she also oversees the operations, Ruth has been instrumental in initiating and implementing strategic initiatives that enhance quality service delivery.
Other maritime parastatals, including the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA), the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency (NIMASA), the Nigerian Navy, some foreign and home-based maritime organizations were present at the event.
Ocean transport is the cornerstone of global trade, accounting for the movements of approximately 80% of the world's goods like oil. The ocean covers nearly 75% of the Earth's surface, plays a crucial role in economic, social, and environmental development. So bringing this topic down to the inland waterways, how it's relevant to the national inland waterways, what we do. In Nigeria, the water body spans about 10,000 kilometer distance and connects about 28 states. So without much ado, let me tell us what we do in LIWA and how it is relevant in maritime logistics and sustainability of the ocean economy. We are responsible for the inland water transportation development and management in Nigeria. We move people and cargoes from one place to another on the inland waterways. We provide regulatory, economical, and operational leadership in nation's inland waterway system and develop infrastructure facilities for an efficient intermodal transportation system in line with global best practices that is safe, seamless, and affordable. We improve and develop inland waterways for navigation, provide alternative modes of transportation for the evacuation of economic goods and persons. We execute the objectives of the National Transport Policy as it affects the inland waterways. From the key objectives of the authority enumerated above, NIWA plays a vital role in promoting the maritime logistics and the sustainability of ocean economy by tackling the critical areas of concern in the sector, which are maritime accidents and safety, delays and disruptions, and navigational challenges by putting these measures in place.
The panel sessions showcased experts from the public and private sectors to discuss and give practical assessments and insights of the operations of their organizations in line with the topic of discussion.
So I'd like you to share with us the latest development that the last one has introduced into water transportation in Nigeria and how it affects the subject that we're discussing now.
Lagos State Waterways Authority, we mainly into vessel registration sometimes, and then documentation, because we have our own fleets, the omnibus, and then the large ferry vessels owned by the state government. Now, for innovations or what has been introduced into the system, we have our Waterways Data Management Center, which we call the control room. Now, in this Waterways Management Data Management Center, we can see vessels, ferries, real time from our jetties. Now, these ferries, they are monitored remotely from our jetties, and this center is situated at our head office 5 Cowries Terminal at Falomo. Also, we are also bringing in new ferries under the AFD project. Now, these ferries will be hybrid, electric driven. Why hybrid? Now, looking at the topic maritime logistics and sustainability of the ocean economy. Now, maritime logistics, looking at the aspects of the logistics, the planning, the implementation, and the management. Now, what will NASFA do in the planning aspect, talking about the routes? So we have different routes. The routes going Apapa, Badagry, Ikorodu, to the mainland, and then also talking about implementation, we have water gas station at these jetties to ensure that safety standard is adhered to.
As touching the maritime sector, it's enshrined in our law to partner with NIMASA to drive local content development in the maritime space. It's in the law, and we have been doing that for a long time now. Now, talking about those things that we have done, first, I would like to talk about what we call the Nigerian Content Consultative Forum, which has what we call the shipping and logistics group. In fact, the chairman of that shipping and logistics group was on the board of the NCDNB, Mr. Mina Ofori-Okuba, until recently. So we have what we call Marvis, a kind of a marine vessel information system, which is being developed by the board. In fact, I was practically, I tried to call one of the industry players today and said, how has NCDNB helped you, that industry? And he said, some years ago we had a lot of our vessels are crewed by foreigners. Today, the leading lights in that space, you have 100% of their crew being Nigerians. So this is through the effort of the board, to the extent that nowadays, before you participate in any of the tendering process in the oil and gas industry, you have to demonstrate in-country capacity utilization of Nigerians and Nigerian equipment, Nigerian vessels, and so on. That is one platform, and it has led to a lot of prosperity and progress in that sector. Another aspect is in funding. We have what we call the Nigerian Content Intervention Fund. We have about $350 million in that space, which we have marine vessel, marine services company, marine logistics companies have taken advantage. I don't want to mention business name in this place right now.
We help organizations manage everything about their logistics processes, from setup to managing the project itself, to managing everything about your cargo movement from origin, wherever you're buying globally, down to your doorstep in your destination. And the truth is, it involves multiplicity of contracts and agencies. So what we do is to ensure that we take up all that interfaces from you and manage that to ensure that your cargo arrives seamlessly, on time, and in full. And it's been a long journey in the freight forwarding industry. When I joined as a corper, a lot of things were not automated. I was just a young school leaver, and I've seen the industry grow over time, and one of the key things that's happened is digitalization. When we started, I remember if you needed to know where your cargo was, you had to leave where you had to go to shipping companies to ask. And then we queue and wait until you would eventually hear, oh, the cargo hasn't arrived. That's all we knew. We just knew it hadn't arrived. I'm sure if you had Igbo, you would have had something like container on a high sea. So those were just the things people used to know, container again on a high sea. But some of the things that has happened to us that there's a lot of visibility now. You can stay in the comfort of your home as long as you have your bill of lading. You can track your shipments. So it's a key one for us. You can now track your shipment. You have visibility. You can know when it's arriving. So that helps for planning and optimization. And
the event, which was organized in March, a month where women are celebrated worldwide, also had the panelists throw light on the advancement of women participation in their organizations.
I'd like to know whether there are any particular steps to advance the participation of women in the development of water transportation in Lagos State.
Like 13 years ago when I joined LASWA, we were like just two women. But today, I can tell you very well categorically that we have more than 20, including the water guards and then the staff from the mainstream. And also, women also, the head positions also in LASWA, because the second in command, which is the executive secretary legal, is also female.
First, we have a $20 million scheme for women, which is to support women-led businesses in the oil and gas industry. This initiative aims to enhance women participation and entrepreneurship in the sector. This is an ongoing product that a lot of women businesses are taking advantage of, and I want you to do so. Also, in partnership with Nexim, We have the, should be 50 million naira now, intervention fund, which target businesses with at least 5% female ownership and significant female representation in the management role.
Thank you very much. Globally, the participation is rated between 21% to 15%. And of course, you know that with that data, Nigeria falls somewhere slightly below that. Like, it's been a journey. When we started, I didn't really see a lot. I didn't see a lot of women. It was just one woman I saw, and then another a lady in customs. She was like a role model, and she kept telling me things to do and things not to do. But gradually, the tide is changing, because women are also beginning to see that beyond just the corporate, as it were, that there's just so much we can do. You see men driving trucks, you see men going on board vessels, and of course, manning cranes at several ports, and of course doing the real custom clearing jobs. We are still working on the actual data, but if you come to custom brokerage, the figure we have currently is less than 10% of female participation.
Despite the achievements of these organizations, the panelists also expressed challenges faced in their various business operations.
Last one, please share with us the most challenging aspects of the development of water transportation in Lagos State.
One of the most challenging is try to get the operators to key into this vision of sustainability. Majority of the operators on waterways are from the informal sector. They are used to the two-stroke engine. A good example of the two-stroke engine is the Pass My Neighbor that you have at home, the small generator that you have to mix fuel and oil together. Now, making them understand, that the world is going green and that they have to move from two-stroke, even beyond the four-stroke engine, of which a good example is the big gen you have at home that has the oil tank or sub separate and then the fuel tank separate. Now, these two-stroke engines, internationally, some areas have been banned. Why? Because of the carbon emission. Four-stroke engines don't give off much carbon emission. Even if you talk of fuel consumption, four-stroke engine, the fuel consumption is lower. The oil consumption is lower. However, transiting them from the use of two-stroke engine to four-stroke engine, and now we are even looking at hybrid engines, electric engines, and then mixing them with CNG solutions. The major challenge is moving them from before mindset to now, and then to the future, which is renewable energy.
We have that challenge to enhance in-country value addition and utilization. A lot of these vessels, big ticket vessels that are used in the oil and gas space, for instance, and the challenges of whether you should own it or you should lease it, and all kinds of arrangement in the system. So there's a lot of pushback to the initiatives of the board to deepen in-country value addition, especially in the contracting space. So what are we doing to take care of this? One of it is what we call the shipyard audit. This shipyard audit, we are doing it with our shipping and logistics group to know who is who in local manufacturing in Nigeria and what are their capacities. Just like my brother talked about maybe bringing in some vessels from abroad and all that. We know that this our shipyard audit is going to help to see that maybe what we want to go to Sokoto to get is available in our Sokoto. Maybe our distinguished officers from the naval dockyard can do similar thing that we want to bring from another country, for instance. So all of this is what we are trying to take care of in collaboration with other industry players to ensure that we know who is who in the industry.
So for me, it's been a journey of a lot of biases for women in the industry. But beyond the bias, there's also a part of it that is seasons of life. Life has made it that women will never be the same with men, and honestly, that's what it is. I will always say that we are not equal, but we have our unique roles, and we are saying everybody be in your role. We have our unique role. I don't know what equality means in the context of equality. What I know is that everybody have their unique role. When it's time for a woman to go on maternity leave, she can't be at work. That's what it is. So for us, I won't call it a challenge, but the seasons of life has made it that the woman will not be at that location all the time. I remember when I had my daughter was still very small, and every member of my team, I was the only female in the department. They had all gone for commercial review, and we had a vessel that came to load bulk product, and the next available tide was going to be around 6 a.m., meaning that we had to drop documents on board before 6 a.m. to enable the pilots take the vessel out, or we're going to be paying about $50,000. And my daughter was less than 5 months. So the question was, am I going to go be in the office till past midnight, or we're going to incur $50,000? Thank God for amazing support system at home. When I shared with my husband, he said, oh, why not? Since you have an estate accommodation in the office area, why not? I took my daughter and my mom, who was helping me out there, and we're all in the estate. I finished the documentation at about 2 a.m. and I dropped documents on board, got the surveyors, everyone finished, and before 6 the vessel has sailed. You know that might be a very peculiar case, but imagine if I didn't have a support system at home. That means that the company will be losing over $50,000. And the next available time, because of how peculiar that jetty was, because, I mean, it was like a dead end, and it was only when it was swept that we had really, really good drafts for vessels to sail more often. We could have 2 days if we not had good time for vessels to sail.
During an interactive session, floor members were given the opportunity to rub minds on trending issues, especially those that impact on the industry and the way forward.
I heard you talk about the local content initiative fund, paying around 50 million for grabs for Nigerian businesses trying to. So I want to know how that can be achieved. I work for an organization where we're trying to do a lot of inter-African trade, and that's something that would really matter to us. That is one.
My question here is regarding the cadet opportunity is for us to find a way to track the people who are getting these opportunities, track them. You know, imagine you spend a lot of millions of Nigerian currency on someone, and you don't know where they are. They might probably be in the Ojulegba Bridge right now, God knows. So we need to know where they are right now, because it's like putting so much funds in a basket.
What stops Lagos State from having her own shipyard? We're talking about 60% of the youth population. Do you think they're all right? No. Part of what blue economy or ocean economy is supposed to address is job creation. You mentioned something about the waste to wealth of water hyacinth. You can do better.
My question is actually for NCDNB. You talked about our local content, sir, and building of Nigerian ships.
what are the measures put in place by the board to ensure that these vessels meet global standards? That's the question I want to answer.
One of the panelists from Enewa mentioned something that interests me. That is an issue of operators not keen into the sustainable economy drive. You know that sustainable economy is very, very vital. When you look at the preservation of the ocean life, that's a summary, the Blue Economy Initiative in particular. But what I want to say now, you may not respond to it, but it's just in addition to what you have said. That is concerning preserving the maritime economy. I think we need to, I know the government is trying in this respect, but can actually improve on what the government is doing.
Guests present shared their thoughts on the breakfast meeting as some took the opportunity to network with one another.
Today we come to see whether we can get some business
definitely,
in Nigeria.
Definitely,
yeah.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
So there are people, network, talk to people. I'm sure you'll meet at least one business proposal today.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Toby.
Toby, okay. My name is Akewale. So what's your take on the event? Did you enjoy yourself?
Yes, it was a great event. Session, and I've enjoyed it.
That's okay.
I mean, I take this conversation around maritime sustainability and the MBS consultations. How they're trying to generate the local content.
Okay.
Very impressive.
Okay.
So that's what I have to share. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My work with NCMB.
Okay.
Yes. So the event is very well organized. Understand that it's meant to give us a to understand the marine sector, plan and all that. I think to a large extent that has been done. The level of collaboration and information provided is quite limited. So I look forward to this event. Anyway.
No, we will be right.
The breakfast meeting was really rewarding, educative, and I believe that the takeaway in the breakfast meeting showed that if properly implemented, go a long way in addressing, to some extent, the challenges being faced by seafarers in maritime logistics, as well as fostering sustainable economic ocean economy.
Zoe Maritime Resources has been in the forefront of driving discussions and debates on industry trends in the maritime industry through the Maritime Business Roundtable breakfast meetings over the years and the Lagos International Maritime Week, LIMWEEK, put together by the CEO in the person of Barrister Orishima Tosan Edodo Emore and her excellent team. 2025 looks promising for Zoe Maritime Resources as the firm prepares for LIMWEEK 2025, where industry experts home and abroad will converge in Nigeria for an exciting and insightful discussion on trends in the maritime industry. So, mark your calendars as LIMWEEK 2025 is loading and promises to be exciting.